Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Those are the first words that I wanted to be in this video. So, unfortunately, we got some sad news today on the 8th of March that Akira Toriyama passed away on the 1st of March. Now, for those of you who don't know who that great man was, you might not know his name, but if I say the words Dragon Ball or Goku, you have a strong chance that you know what those words are or you know what those mean. Well, without Akira Toriyama, those two things would never have existed. Akira Toriyama is the most legendary and influential mangaka of all time. He created the Dragon Ball series. Without him, that would never have existed. And Dragon Ball, I don't think there's many people that can really argue this, was and is the most well-known and influential anime of all time. That's not an over-exaggeration. Dragon Ball is famous throughout the entire world, and it means so much to a lot of people. Now, I'm not one of those ones that really had Dragon Ball from childhood. I have some vague memories of seeing Dragon Ball on the TV when I was little. This was back in the 90s, but I didn't know what Dragon Ball was back then. I saw it on the TV, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what anime was back then. But I do remember enjoying it, even though I'm sure I didn't know what was going on. So my history with Dragon Ball starts quite a bit later than most people's. Obviously, I'd heard of Dragon Ball. I'd heard of Dragon Ball Z. I knew who Goku was as a character, but I wasn't watching it at the time. Now, I haven't when I really got into Dragon Ball, it was actually basically with Dragon Ball Super. I know a lot of fans, for a lot of fans, Dragon Ball Super is sort of controversial. But honestly, I love Dragon Ball Super, and I'm so glad it exists because it ignited my passion and love for Dragon Ball. Watching the Dragon Ball Super movies, Battle of Gods, and then the Resurrection of F. And then obviously the anime came out, and I was watching that. And then the next two Super movies came out, Dragon Ball Super Broly and Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Now, I actually went and saw Broly and Superhero in the cinema. First ever animes I ever went to the cinema to see, and I absolutely loved it. I loved going to see them in the cinema. It was an amazing experience to be able to see them in the cinema. It really was. And I've played some of the Dragon Ball games. They're really enjoyable games. And obviously, as I said, I've watched the Super anime series, and I do read the Dragon Ball Super manga. I haven't seen or read Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT, and I know I really do need to. especially in light of Akira Toriyama's passing. I feel like I have to go back and I need to see where it started. I know I need to do that. But yeah, I feel sad because he really was such a great man. He's influenced so many people's lives. It can't be understated how, you know, true that is. He really has. Like, so many people, Dragon Ball is such an important thing in their lives, including mine. And obviously to hear that the creator behind it has passed away is sad news. It's like 5:30 in the morning, and I couldn't go to sleep without doing this video. It didn't feel right. I feel like I needed to put this out there and offer my condolences, and also thanks to Akira Toriyama for all his work in his life and everything he's done for everybody. It's not just Dragon Ball that he created either. He's helped with other things. He was like the illustrator for all the Dragon Quest games. He's done other things. He did a lot. Obviously, he's most known for Dragon Ball, but that's not to, you know, downplay any of the other things that he had a hand in. Um, and it's just very sad. And the on the official page, from the company that he worked for, they even mentioned that he had so many projects in the works, that sadly he won't be able to complete to fruition. Um, and he had so much more to give. The man was 68 when he passed. That's not all that old these days. Um, really, to be honest. But yeah, but he's given us so much work. All his, you know, everything he's done up until now, we'll be able to enjoy forever. Dragon Ball will always be around. Even if one day it stops, it doesn't matter, because of the legacy that has been left behind with Dragon Ball will always continue. And I hope that I'm sure he knew that, and I hope that gave him great comfort knowing that all his hard work will never be in vain, because it will always be there for us to enjoy. And I hope that he knows how much we appreciated everything he's done. So yeah, one last time, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, and thank you so, so much for all you've done over the years. Thank you.